Every once in a while, it's a really good idea to stop. To stop and reevaluate what truly matters to us and to check in with our priorities in life. Because we often get stuck on autopilot without even noticing it, and we stop questioning why we do the things that we do every day. But in order to live a life with intention, a conscious life, one where you're actually awake as you walk around this planet, we need to check in with ourselves and with the decisions that we make on a daily basis. As I've been reevaluating what truly matters to me in my life, I've come to realize that self-optimization for the sake of productivity and for success, it's actually pretty useless. If anything, my intention is to optimize my life for meaning and for health. One of my goals is to stay as healthy as possible until I die, because what's the point of growing old and expanding my longevity when I'm suffering at the same time? Our bodies can take a lot, but eventually they just can't take all that partying and drinking and all the hustling and 80-hour work weeks and all that sitting on our butts in front of our screens all day. I mean, my body took it pretty okay until it didn't anymore. I definitely thought that I was immortal for a very long time, but when I hit my 30th birthday, this is a while ago now, it hit me like a ton of bricks. I realized that I won't live forever and that my body won't stay like this forever either. It was like this massive realization. And so I quit smoking, I became vegan, and did all the things, really improved my health, because I suddenly realized that, wow, my health is everything I got. This is my body, my home, and I need to take care of it way, way better than I ever did in my 20s. But there's only so much that our diet and sleep and exercise actually influence our health. It's almost a little bit too simple. There is way more to real, true, lasting health. And it took me a while until I understood what the first principles to a truly healthy and meaningful life are. Number one, it's the reduction of stress in our bodies in many different ways, and more so than most of us actually understand. And second, going back to more primal ways of being and living and eating. I identified 3 key areas that I seem to have organically prioritized over the last year or two, and that have really made a huge difference to the quality of my life. First off is regulating my nervous system. Stress and stored trauma in our bodies doesn't just influence our mental and emotional health, but it definitely impacts our lifespan and can cause chronic health issues. Chronic stress takes a toll on our bodies in more ways than we realize. A lot of us are very numb to the negative effects of chronic stress. For example, in my case, I was living in anxious mode for so many years of my life. I was not aware of it. I didn't realize it until my body got sick. But even then, I couldn't put the two together. The more I learned about the nervous system, about our stress response, about how trauma works, let it be shock trauma or developmental trauma, the more I learned about breath work and how the breath is connected to our nervous system, to our brain, to our thoughts, to our feelings, and how we can use the breath to regulate our nervous system, the more I realized that, wow, my nervous system is really messed up. And the reasons that I suffered from, chronic gut problems and also chronic skin issues was not random. It was directly related to these years and years of being in a very sympathetic nervous system mode, in a fight or flight mode, consciously being anxious. Eventually I realized that no stress in the world is worth compromising my health for it. And so it's really important to me these days to minimize stress in life and in work. I slowed down my life a lot. I say no to a lot of things. And my partner and I were very conscious of creating a healthy relationship container for the both of us. I've also been focusing on releasing past trauma energies from my body and my psyche, more consciously than ever, really, because I'm so much more aware of its effect now and how it manifests. And, if you think about it, most of us have experienced some form of trauma in our lives, some sort of experience that was too much to handle at the time and we just couldn't process it. And so these energies, these emotions, keep living in our bodies. This incomplete sort of emotional cycle is unfinished business. And if we don't release these emotions, then it can cause chronic health issues and depression and anxiety. And I think it's extremely important to understand just how trauma affects us in the long run, and that it's super important if we want to really get rid of stress energies from our bodies to take this seriously. So I personally do a lot of deep dive breathwork journeys to release these kind of energies and process these emotions. I've also done a fair amount of somatic psychotherapy and somatic experiencing with a psychotherapist. I've been doing a ton of shadow work and really exploring all these unconscious areas in my life that I've been ignoring or just not wanting to see and feel, but actually giving space to all of these things so that they can come up to the surface, so that they can come up into the light and they can be released and transformed. And I've been optimizing my daily breathwork practice to increase my CO2 tolerance, because the degree to which we can tolerate carbon dioxide in our bodies as we're breathing is directly related to our stress resilience. So I've been really focusing on doing practices that help me in changing my breathing pattern sustainably and to increase my CO2 tolerance so that my body can deal with stress better. Another key area that I'm focusing on a lot these days is movement and exercise, but in a very intentional and unique way more than in the past, because I've been a yogi for quite a long time now and been taking movement quite seriously. And I've been surfing for several years and, doing all sorts of things, going to the gym and whatnot, working a lot on my strength. But what I've come to realize after more than a year of not surfing and spending a lot of time inside during the winter and lockdown, and just not moving as much as I normally did in the past, I saw that my body wasn't in the greatest shape. And as I went out surfing a lot, when we came here to Sri Lanka, I ended up with an injury on my ribs, and that led me to see my physiotherapist here in Sri Lanka. It's this Finnish guy who's really amazing. And he made it very clear to me that I have these vulnerabilities in my body and that I really need to take care of my body and to really work on these vulnerabilities, these weak areas, these weak spots for the rest of my life, to really make sure that I can keep my body healthy and mobile and flexible and strong. Yoga is great and it does a really good job in a lot of these ways, but I realized that I had to put special attention on some of the areas in my body that yoga just didn't quite cover. If you bend down and you can't reach your toes with your fingers, or if you can't sit in a comfortable squat for a little while, then really get on it. It's so important to make sure that our bodies are mobile, that they're flexible, and that they're strong, because otherwise we will pay for it later on in life. And lastly, I just want to have fun in life. I want to play, I want to dance, I want to laugh, I want to be out in nature, I want to have a great time with my partner, I want to surf. I just want to live life beyond screens. For the longest time, I was into the hustle mentality myself and working really hard and building businesses and being really concerned about follower numbers and likes and success and money. And I burnt myself out more than once. And then I realized that, is that really worth it? Is all this hustle and optimizing everything for productivity and making more money and being more successful, is that really worth it? And eventually my answer was no. It wasn't making me happier. I wasn't more fulfilled. A while back, I had to come to terms with the fact that hustle culture just isn't for me. I don't want to work 80-hour work weeks. And unless it's fun, like making this video right now, I really prefer offline experiences these days. And so I've been cutting down on the time that I spend working on my laptop, the time that I spend online or on my phone. I've been ruthlessly cutting out social media and deleted Instagram off of my phone and Twitter, and I haven't been on Facebook in a long time either. I just really want to focus on a few things that really matter to me, where I get a lot of joy out of it, and that's making videos, it's photography, and it's writing. And I'll be doing a lot more breathwork stuff and let it be online, but especially I'm so looking forward to running offline events and workshops, and hopefully very soon again. But that's kind of the stuff that I want to focus on. It's okay for me to not grow as fast. It's okay for me to maybe not be as successful as other people and other creators and entrepreneurs out there. I'm going at my own speed these days. I'm not gonna adjust to other people's speeds on social media anymore. Like, I'm so done with that. I really want to enjoy the ride through life, and I want to stop and smell the flowers when I want to. And I want to live with an open heart and make connections and really cherish relationships and life with all of my senses, and not just in front of laptops and thinking that I have to be better than others and compare myself to others. Our days, they're numbered. And like you, I want to spend my time on earth in the best way possible so that it actually feels meaningful. I like to remind myself of how I want to feel on my deathbed and how I want to reflect on my life as I'm about to pass over. And I'm pretty sure that I won't wish that I'd spend more time in front of this place. I'm pretty sure I won't regret that I spent more time with the people that I love and actually having fun and dancing and laughing and loving and playing. How do you want to feel on your deathbed? And how do you feel about your priorities in life right now? Because I just really hope that this video served as a bit of an inspiration for you to take a moment to stop and to reevaluate, to reflect on how you really want to live your life, on what matters to you. And if you enjoyed this video, then I invite you to come and sign up for my bi-weekly or so Flow and Wonder emails. I usually share a lot of really cool stuff around mindfulness, living an intentional life, around being a creator, the creative process, and mental health and psychology. So it's always a really good mix of really awesome stuff. So come hang and check out the link below the video, and I will see you very soon in the next video. I appreciate you so much. Thank you for watching this video. Take care. Bye.